Greetings, Zombie Slayers, Slippery Jim here with some more Cold War Zombies gameplay for you guys. I thought I would take a look at the 3 new weapons we have to use in Cold War Zombies, which are the 2 melee weapons, the Sledgehammer and the Wakizashi, as well as the Streetsweeper fully automatic shotgun that we have in the game now, once you've unlocked it via multiplayer challenges. And also I thought we would take a look at the new Zombies game mode here, which is cranked as well. And I'll let you guys know my thoughts on these new weapons and this new game mode. So here we go, let's get right into it. And as you can see here, I am starting off with some cranked gameplay here. So obviously we've had cranked as a game mode before in multiplayer in past Call of Duties and the current one as well. And essentially, if you've been living under a rock and you need this explained, it is basically a game mode in which you need to keep getting kills, and that keeps the timer ticking. If you don't get kills quickly enough, the timer will expire and you will explode for some reason. But having this in zombies, I guess it's okay as a challenge to try, but I just don't think it's got longevity. And to be honest, it's a little bit of a lazy effort by Treyarch, since this is a game mode we've had before in multiplayer that they've just cut and pasted into zombies. The trouble with adding crank to zombies is there's a lot of things in the modern zombies experience that require you to take time to do without having to constantly kill zombies. And for this reason, they've actually removed key parts of the map requirements in order to accommodate cranked gameplay in a practical way. So for instance, what's an example of this? Turning on the power, you just have to press one button, and you also don't have to locate and assemble the pack-a-punch. It's just already pre-built for you. So maybe there's some people that might enjoy that this sort of game mode and enjoy playing this and like play it constantly. But for me, it's just the kind of game mode where you play it once or twice and that's it. It's not going to replace obviously the main zombies experience, and it's not going to be something that I'm coming back to after I've tried it once or twice, to be completely honest with you. It's a little bit like the old turned game mode. At least that was a lot more original than this one. But, and that was kind of fun too. Well, that's probably a bad comparison, to be honest, because I did play that a fair bit. But it's a game mode that a lot of players didn't actually play that much after trying it once or twice. So yeah, kind of a thumbs down for me on cranked in zombies. But as far as the Sledgehammer goes, so let's talk about this for a moment. And I did test these and found that both of the new melee weapons have exactly the same damage at all levels of quality and pack-a-punch ability as the original knife melee alpha, if you like, that we had at the start. What is different about them though is the swing speed and the what would you call it, the lunge distance, I guess, or the damage range. Yeah, range is probably a better way of putting it. So of the 2 melee weapons, the Sledgehammer is pretty cool, but it's not really practical for you know, for getting the high rounds in zombies, because the animation is just too slow. And even if it does have apparently a larger range, it just takes too long to hit the zombies, and in the higher rounds it's just not going to kill zombies quick enough to keep you safe. So you're going to get into a lot of trouble if you try to use this in a higher round kind of thing. I wish they'd actually given this a bit of a damage buff, to be honest, because you'd think it would be slightly more damaging. Even if it was an armor damage buff or something like that, that would have been pretty cool. So that's the Sledgehammer, guys, and let's go now to some footage of the Wakizashi melee weapon that we got as well. So just to give a little bit of information about the Wakizashi, because it's kind of interesting, this is obviously a Japanese short sword, which originated way back like around the 15th century, and it was traditionally used only by samurais when it was paired with the weapon we're more familiar with in the West, which is the katana longsword. And it was used for things like close quarters fighting, beheading defeated enemies, and even seppuku. So yeah, it was a traditional samurai short sword, if you like. And in Zombies, here in Cold War Call of Duty, it does exactly the same damage as the other two melee weapons, but it has a much faster animation speed, and apparently it also has a smaller range or shorter range of attack. So that's barely noticeable though, to be honest, and I really enjoy using this weapon in Zombies. It's probably my favorite melee weapon in Cold War Zombies at the moment because it's just so fast to attack with this thing. And the shorter range is, as I said, not really noticeable enough to be a drawback, but you can get a lot of really fast kills with this. And unlike, for instance, the knife, which has a really annoying slow lunge, when you do that lunge attack with it, this doesn't seem to suffer from that drawback at all. So it's actually a pretty cool weapon to use in Cold War Zombies, and my melee weapon of preference right now in Call of Duty Cold War. So it's very, very cool. If you haven't managed to unlock this or buy the blueprint, I don't think there's a blueprint out for this yet, but go ahead and give it a try because it's definitely worth it. Moving on now to our new gun, and this is the Streetsweeper fully automatic shotgun that we now have available here in Call of Duty Cold War Zombies. Pack-a-Punched, it is called the Road Rage. It's pretty much the striker shotgun that we've had in some of the previous Call of Duties. And yeah, I was really looking forward to trying this thing out because the other two shotguns currently in Cold War Zombies, which is the Gallo and the Hauer, obviously are some of the best weapons in the game at the moment in Zombies. So I was hoping this one would also be up there because it has an incredible rate of fire. I actually leveled this up in multiplayer first, and it's pretty good in multiplayer, but the huge downside in multiplayer is it has just a super slow reload. Like, you literally have to hide in a corner for about 3 minutes, it feels like, to reload it from empty in multiplayer, which is just dreadful. And I thought that was going to translate to Zombies, which it kind of does. But when you pack-a-punch it, it actually reloads 4 shells at a time, and the reload isn't a huge drawback. And if you actually use this thing inside the Ring of Fire, fully upgraded Ring of Fire, where you don't have to reload, it's actually not too bad at all. However, I was very disappointed in this weapon in Zombies, and I'll explain why. Let's take a look at some numbers to start with here with the shotguns, right? So the Gallo shotgun, just to compare, is probably the best shotgun in Cold War Zombies at the moment. Well, triple pack-a-punched, fully upgraded to legendary quality. With a critical hit, the Gallo does 32,000 damage per shot. Whereas, compare that to the Streetsweeper. The Streetsweeper, legendary quality, triple pack-a-punched, with a critical hit, only does, wait for it, 2,481 damage per shot. I mean, just think out how ridiculous that is and how low powered that is. Now you might think, well, it has a super high rate of fire as a fully automatic shotgun, plus it has the largest magazine size of any shotgun of 45 rounds or shells per magazine, right? So maybe it's got really good damage per second. Wrong. Unfortunately, very wrong. So damage per second wise, what this thing does is around about 7,198 damage per second. Compare that to the Gallo. The Gallo does 72,000 damage per second. And even in the Ring of Fire, where you don't have to reload, you're looking at a single shot damage of 13,939 with the Streetsweeper compared to, for example, the Hauer shotgun, which does 203,000 plus damage per shot. So there's just no comparison. It's kind of sad, and I wish that they'd made it a little bit more strong, because it's a fun weapon to use, and especially when you're using it in a situation like in the Ring of Fire where you don't have to reload it. It would be pretty cool if it did at least comparable damage to the other two shotguns. But I guess they had to throw in a bit of a dud weapon at some point there, because the other two shotguns are pretty good. In terms of the reload speed, so with the other two shotguns, I do time the amount of time it takes fully upgraded to shoot all the shells in the magazine and reload. And just to let you guys know how that compares with the Streetsweeper, for example, the Gallo, which only has a 27 shell magazine, that takes 12.24 seconds to fire all 27 shells and reload, whereas the Streetsweeper takes around 15.51 seconds to fire all 45 shells and reload. So that's actually not as bad as I thought it would be, considering how slow it is to reload in multiplayer. But being able to reload 4 shells at once it's pack-punched is actually helps out a lot with that problem that it has, especially if you have upgraded oh my god, the blank. Speed Collar is the perk I was trying to remember there. Oh my goodness. Okay, well, that probably means it's time for me to end this video. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this brief look at the new weapons and the new game mode here in Cold War Zombies. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching. Slippy Jim out.